In 1905, as a superstructure work for the railroad line Kirchheim-Nieder had been commissioned, the engineering company Kanitsa-Pistor opened up a basalt quarry at the foot of the Hohe Berg near Nieder Ofleiden in order to extract gravel for the nearby railroad construction. They could not have known that they had accidentally cut one of the largest basalt deposits worth mining in Europe when they sold this quarry to Mitteldeutsche Hartsteinindustrie AG in 1909 because it was not any profitable. Basalt gained a certain public acceptance as a material by its appearance on the monumental Bismarck towers built throughout Germany in the 19th century, used as a substitute for the noble granite. We arrive at Vogelsberg to start our hike looking for the Basalt Quarry. Vogelsberg is the largest contiguous volcanic area in Central Europe. It consists of many individual volcanoes that overlap each other. Accordingly, it is composed of a multitude of superimposed basalt blankets. The central plateau area, at an altitude of 800 meters, has a ring shape and descends in a staircase-like manner to its edges. The volcanic activity in the Vogelsberg is associated with the fracture tectonics, an activity that began in northern Hesse about 20 million years ago. The contact of magma and water produced violent explosions, causing large amounts of rock to be blasted out of the subsurface in a funnel shape. Spectacular lava fountains spouted from cracks and fissures, while elsewhere, large-scale lava poured out. Amber and ash clouds that cover the region have been preserved as deposits in many outcrops. The volcanic activity died out about 7 million years ago. The view from our hike stretches far into the green distance. Over the vast, fertile Alm Valley, no quarry is yet visible on the horizon. The view wanders over the gentle heights of the Vogelsberg, dotted with numerous wind turbines. In this green vastness, we were not aware of what the border was holding from us. Other passers, unbothered from the idea of a new discovery, were walking past by. In the far distance, we finally catch a glimpse of what seems to be the biggest basalt quarry in Europe. Big, imposing, and eye-catching machines hint at our discovery. 160 hectares of the quarry unfolds in front of the viewing plateau. MHI has owned the area and has operated here for the last century. Their product, revolving basalt, has evolved from paving stones and blocks to aggregates used in asphalt for road, underground, and rail construction, as well as in various areas in industry and agriculture. The mining process of the basalt is divided in numerous steps. Firstly, a blasting of approximately 25 meters, deep drilled holes is staged. The rock is then loaded onto a dump truck with an excavator and taken to the primary crusher. Rocks are then broken in the crusher and separated by size in a screening plant. Stones are stored in silos or further processed in the asphalt mixing plant. Lastly, they are further transported by conveyor belts and loaded at the truck or rail loading plant. Besides all these operations that take place throughout the year, MHI, in cooperation with Geopark, organizes an event called Stein Expo, a demonstration messe for machinery, which has taken place every 3 years since 1990.
I live in Nieder Ofleiden. I moved in a short time ago and so far I haven't noticed anything about the blasting.
Do you think MHI is transparent in their operations?
Yes, I feel the quarry is a positive thing and I would love to attend the demonstration fair in the future. Just out of personal interest. I think it's pretty cool.
How do you find the quarry? Do you see it critically in terms of the environment and the interference with nature?
The quarry is not beautiful, but it is eye-catching. Environmental protection is already an issue, but the economy is also an important aspect.
After the currency reform in 1949, MHI decided to mechanize and rationalize the company on a large scale, following the American example. As the first one in the natural stone industry, manual work in the quarry was now replaced by excavator work, and pavement stone production was greatly reduced in favor of bituminous mixes. MHI cultivates the shipping business by wagon and by truck alike. Every day, several closed railroad trains of more than 1,000 tons leave the Nieder Ofleiden plant. This is one of the largest shippers in the Kassel railroad district. This fleet of vehicles ensures that the basalt products can be shipped to the entire Upper Hesse region, thus relieving road traffic. In the course of the world economic crisis, the plant experienced serious sale difficulties in 1929, which resulted in the dismissal of numerous workers. It was not until the construction of the Reichsautobahn in the 1930s that the basalt plant, through the many projects of road constructions, flourished again. During the Second World War, numerous French prisoners of war had to perform forced labor in the Nieder Ofleiden basalt quarry.
Du, 120 Kilometer. Dabei geht das schon eine Stunde in diesem Tempo. Schadet das dem Wagen nicht?
Keine Angst. Pass mal auf, was wir jetzt sogar noch für Reserven drin haben.
125, 130, 135. Das ist ja großartig.
Former mainly manual work was very difficult, especially the hammering out of the basalt stone directly on the wall. For this purpose, the beaters used crowbars up to 5 meters long. Around 1928, about 400 men were employed, mainly for the production of paving stones. Other main areas of production included masonry stone, high-grade chippings, and crushed stone. 80 of the employees were stone setters, and thus highly paid specialists. Work was done in columns under difficult conditions. An 8-man column produced over 2 cubic meters of paving stones per day, about 1,500 paving stones. The bed stones were sorted out and paid by weight. The single judges sat in simple cottages. In severe frost, 4 stockings had to be put on and the legs had to be covered with sacks. Wooden shoes were also common. The transport of the stones was done with lorries on field rails. A horse cart then drove to the railroad.
Do you know anything about the blasting work in the quarry?
I don't live nearby, but I like to come here to hike, so I can't say much about the blasting operations. But it's interesting to know that there are certain species of birds that like to take advantage of the heat that comes from the blasting. Just like airplanes, they use the air currents to their advantage when flying.
What started as a noble substitute for granite, with its public and political use in Bismarck monumental towers, basalt now appears as an anonymous product, whose use in daily routines we do not think about. From 1948 on, mechanization of the quarry started and was purposefully advanced in the following years. Today, the workforce comprises only of 40 workers and employees, even though the quarry is one of the largest and most modern plants in the world. What is left to the town is the document to automatization and the one thing that started this all, the railway and the road.